Hello, Plannerettes. How are you? Now, I'll be honest, this past month has been a lot. hmm Between creating content, trying to make everything an income producing activity over here in the Mariane Cresp Central and preparing to open the Plannerettes Inner Circle membership, I realized I was running on empty mentally. So, after some considerable thought, I've decided not to continue with the Plannerettes Inner Circle membership, at least not in its current form. And so I won't be opening it to the public. So right now, my focus has to shift a little bit. My mental well-being's been in a vulnerable state at the moment, and I have jury duty at the end of this week coming up, and also some family matters. I need to make sure I protect my energy so then I can show up for my family and for myself properly. Now, I know that's not the strategic thing to do in the world of content creation. It's not what social media coaches or experts and the algorithm would say to do, but sometimes the strongest thing we can do is to stop doing what is draining us. So even when it looks like the wrong business move on paper. So hopefully you can stay around with me as we plan for November and have a little bit of real talk. Let's go. Now, for those of you who are new to my channel, I am Marianne, and here I've been sharing my own planning and hope it can inspire you to move from overwhelm, stress, anxious thoughts, stress, and stuckness to calm, clear, and creatively inspired through intentional planning, habit tracking, and self care. But before we go on any further, I want to say hello to those who are here with me in the live chat who always bring me joy every Monday here in Sydney, Australia, where I'm from, my wonderful plannerettes. And of course, if you are catching up on the replay, you know that I also love seeing your comments. So make sure to type Team Replay and let me know where you are tuning in from. So let's have a look. We have a few people here already. Hello, Cindy. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. How are you? Susan, I hope you are well. I'm much better joining you here today. Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Lisa, nice to see you. Thank you so much. Hello there, Roseanne. Roseanne, is this your first time in the live chat? If so, welcome. Lovely to see you, and you will see the warmth and joy my wonderful plannerets bring in the live chat. Hello, Brenda. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. November planner setup. Here we go. Yes, you are doing what is best for you. Look, I know that sounded a little bit dramatic. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going to shift a little few things here and there. Thank you so much, Brenda, for your wonderful and loving support. You know I love you, my darling. Hello, Irene, the budgeting mama. Nice to see you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you, Brenda. You know that you have been a joy to my life since we have connected here on YouTube. Thank you so much for the wonderful super sticker. Thank you. Hello, Angela. Nice to see you. I always love that avatar of yours with the eyes. Just here, having a look, having a peer through. Thank you so much, everybody. Look, for the month of October, I'm going to, or actually for the new month, starting today, really, I am going to give myself permission to just create. Okay, so beyond planning, beyond habit tracking, beyond self-care, because those are the things that are part of who I am. I want to make sure to be able to share more of my creative side, the things that inspire me outside of planners and stationery, my content creation, maybe my setup, the tools I use, what's working for me, what's not. And yes, look, it'll probably mess up with the algorithm. It's going to go, what are you doing, Marianne? You're a planner and stationery channel, and now you're bringing in all these other things. But honestly, it already feels a bit out of whack anyway, like the algorithm. And so I don't know if I'm coming or going. I create videos. Why isn't it being shown more? Or I create videos that I thought, oh, no one will watch, and that's the one that's working well. So I might as well make things that bring me joy. Okay, so I really appreciate you. Roseanne says, yes, it is. I always watch the replays. You have to do what you have to do. Thank you so much. And that's what I think too as well. Brenda is ready to slowly release. Yes, let's release October and say bye-bye, October, bye-bye. And welcome November with the intention that it will be better and more joyful month. Exactly. Look, I don't even know what I'm going to be making apart, beyond my planning and stationery content. I probably will, now that I've declared I want to make more different things. But look, whatever I make, whether it's plan and station or other stuff, it may scare a few subscribers who are only here for my planning. Maybe, or maybe my channel, my channel name is Mariane Cresp. That's me. It's not just Marianne Plan. So I would love for you to stay and watch whatever I create next. But, I'll completely understand. If it's not for you, you might go, why is she showing that? Because it's part of me. And, look, I don't have a set plan for what's coming next. And that's honestly feels like it's exciting. I'm letting curiosity lead for a while. But before we jump into the unknown, okay, let's make sure the rest of my days and my weeks are set up well. So let us take a look at how I'm planning for November. Let us go. So if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I have swapped my planner. Let me see if I can grab this. So I was, I don't know, was it just for the month of October? I was in this hybrid Franken planning. This is the Hobonichi cover with the cover, the cousin or the A5 size. My printable download is A5, but I disc punched it and I used a laminating sheet to be able to pop it inside the planner. So I'm moving from this. So it's a A5 disc bound with a Hobonichi cover setup into the A5 Filofax Garden Organizer in the color Dusk. And for my personal planning, which holds my daily planner pages, I will be in the personal Filofax Saffiano Organizer in the color Blush. And they go well beautifully because the little leaves or flowers of the garden in Dusk has pink, and then that picks it up nicely, and the lining as well is in a blush pink. So then they go and coordinate beautifully. So now these were gifted to me by Filofax, and I do have an affiliate code that you can use. So these are non-leather, so you can get 20% discount in the Filofax US, UK, and Europe sites, and by using Marianne20. So the details are in the description below if you wanted to take advantage of my affiliate discount code, which is 20% off the non-leather items. So look, as you probably know by now, whenever Marianne is feeling all the feels, when I'm feeling all the feels, whether I'm really inspired or feeling a little bit lost by the unknown, I like to change things up. So you can probably, if I go back and review all the different videos that I made, it will most likely that maybe, every season, or whether it's quarter or every 6 weeks. My husband says every 6 weeks you get to this point, Marianne, where you get a little bit delicate and vulnerable with your feelings. And whether it is on the dot 6 weeks, that's me. That's the way my brain works. And I am working so hard in ensuring that whatever overwhelm or anxious thoughts or fear or anxiety I may have about the future, or things that may sadden me because of the past, I make sure I try and bounce back a lot quicker than I used to, a few years ago. So, one of the things that I do to inspire and create joy into my life is by changing up my stationery and planner. So, that's really important. Brenda says, I love to see what you are doing. It often makes my decision on what planner I want to use. I just follow your lead. Yeah, so sometimes, it's like, let's see what planner. It's like, you shop your own little cupboard or closet for either shoes or bags. It's that. It's bringing novelty and bringing in some freshness and newness to help inject a little bit more fun into your day. And if little things like stationery and your planning system or planner setup is one of the things that's will make you happy when you get up in the morning and open your planner to see what tasks and to-dos that you have, then do that. Or if you want to change up, so I'll show you, I'm going to change up my pen for the month, the month of November, or starting today. So I'm going to go use a fountain pen. Or you might even change the color ink. So if you've got gel pens, I have lots of my Muji gel pens. If even changing the color of your ink is something that will inspire you to open your planner more than maybe you have in the last couple of days or last couple of weeks, do that. This is your own planner. It is your own system. You make the rules, and don't be governed by the planner itself. You are the boss of your planner, not the other way around. Okay, so don't be boxed in by whatever planner pages you have. Use it for something else. Okay, so let's see the planner I'm using. Let's have a look. Hey, Lisa says November is my birthday month. Well, that deserves balloons. Happy birthday to you for November. Excellent. November month for Lisa. Everybody wish her a lovely birthday month eve. Is that right? Is that what we're calling it? Celebrate the fall of November, and even better, celebrate the lead up to it, and then the aftermath as well. Just say, look, it's after my birthday month. I'm going to also celebrate a little bit of it during December. I love that. Yay, Lisa. Plan November as a celebrate month. Indeed. I love it. Okay, let's start off with the personal size. So what I'm going to be using the personal size for is my daily planning. So this is where my daily pages is going to live. Because, like I said, I like to change things up a bit. Yes. Happy birthday month, Lisa. I love it. I love it. Yay, 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 yay. Yay for Lisa, indeed. Okay, so in the Filofax Saffiano in the color blush. So inside, it's got this little sort of, I think they call it a secretary's pocket. And so I've got in there, what do you call these, sticky note tabs. I've got alphabet stencil that I actually haven't used. Maybe I'll use that. You know how when you just go to the stationery store and buy all these things that you see, but really, don't use it. I've got my Hobonichi basic stencil. Now, all the details are in my Amazon US storefront if you want to check that out. Thank you, Marianne, on all the plannerets. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. And it's important that we celebrate as much as we can. So then that way, my birthday only comes once a year, but hey, we don't just have to celebrate it during that one day or the birthday eve month. Let's go, let's do it. Okay, so Hobonichi basic stencil. Look, what I mostly use it for are the little squares to say, hey, completed. And these little cute floral paper clips. They're, I think, Midori brand, but I think I popped it in. If you go into my Amazon US storefront under um, stationary tools, that might be in there. But once we finish the live stream, I'll see if I can make sure to put the exact link, affiliate link. And then it's got 1, 2, 3 pockets. And so in those, I have my do-it-yourself prompt card. So I'll also make sure to pop the link on how you can make these using laminated sheet. And then these are your sticky note flags. And then I use my label maker to go and write down all the different morning and afternoon routines. So the way I use it, I think the original intention of this is you peel the sticky note flag and you would put it on the day to remind you. A lot of this might be, cleaning routine. So if you've got to go clean the bathrooms on Tuesday, you would go and peel it off, pop it there rather than writing it down. For me, I like to use it more now for aesthetic. I look to put in my little credit card pockets, or I'll pull the whole thing and then just have it on my planner and go, or have it on my desk and then remind me, okay, what's the next thing on our afternoon routine? So, okay, after I've done a focus block, I'll do some email, then I'm going to do some movement and have lunch. So that's how I use my do-it-yourself. So even if you don't have a laminating machine, if you've just got, those packaging where if you've got children, you know how a lot of toys have that plastic packaging, you can use that, cut it to credit card size, and then you can embellish it if you have a label maker. The one I use, make sure it's a little bit dusty, so bear with me. The one I use is the Dymo LetraTag label maker. So this is the desktop version. There is also a handheld version, and you can have different size font. You can make it bold, italic, and also make it so then you can label 2 lines. So it was only recently that I discovered that was 2 lines. Tamara, today is my birthday. Hooray! I'm just going to do the 1 line because I want to make sure that I don't, although I think the happy birthday copyright has now expired after however many 100 years. Tamara, happy birthday to you. Enjoy your day. I love it. I love it, everyone. Having some wonderful celebrations today and the lead up to the new month. Happy birthday indeed. Okay, so then I've just got a paper clip. I've got hubby and I. This is printed using, do I have it on hand? Where is it? I don't have it. But this is not the version. I think I've got the other one somewhere. So it's the, look, I have to go and clean the back area of my little desk here. This is not the version that prints on these wonderful little paper label maker photo printer sticker. So it's a sticker. I peeled it off and then I just put it on a lovely little cardstock. So it's the Nimbot B21. So this is the original Nimbot B21, the one that prints on this photo style label is the B21 Pro. Okay, so there's 2 versions. So this one only prints sort of like black and white or black. They're heat printing machines, but then this is the one. So you can buy different types of label. So I have hubby and I there. So then, of course, make sure your planner isn't just, boring stuff like your tasks and to-dos. And if that's all it is, of course, you're less likely to open it. Yes, let's have a look. Happy birthday. Irene says, happy birthday. Denise, hello. Hi, how are you? Nice to see you. I appreciate you being here. And Ronnie Cat, hello, my dear. Thank you so much for joining. And then, of course, we're just going through the little planner setup that I have starting from today, leading up to November. And then here, this is the plastic little dashboard that came with Filofax. I've just put a corner pocket. I bought this from Daiso. Can you see? Let me see if I can take these off. So it's a nice little corner pocket. So then you can put photos, or if you've got any loose leaf paper, and then just some stickers to embellish. Again, make your planner look pretty, so then when you open it, it brings you joy. If you've got puppies and dogs and cats and all your children or your partner, print. I think these are a combination of happy planner stickers just put on cardstock, and then embellish it. And if you're like me, who probably a couple of years ago said I'm not good with sticker placement, there's no rule, just pop it in there. And if you have a sticker, or the paper is one that you can sort of peel it off and quickly put it back on, just stick. So if you've got a lot of stickers on hand and you go, I haven't used them, they just embellish your dashboard. They call it your planner dashboard. So the things that separate the sections. And I think at the back, so I think I've had this since I had started planning in a ring planner, personal size. So that's probably 2019. This actual thing has moved with me from planner to planner. Okay, so those are my two little boys when they were little. They're so cute. So those yellow raincoats, they were all actually, I think hubby's size is about XL in this one. So these were all XL raincoats that I cut down and sewed to size. See, those things, I miss sewing and I miss being creative and I miss making stuff. Just because my boys are now teenagers, I can still make, fun stuff. I want to go and do my little sewing of little toy plushies. Those are the things that bring me joy, and I want to be able to infuse them alongside my planning content. And then here I've got my list of stuff. So this is a printable that I have. So anything that's in my head that I don't need to action yet, or I don't know what it looks like, so to make sure I don't forget it, I put it on stuff. So stuff according to David Allen's book, How to Get Things Done. Other things that you don't know yet what the outcome will look like, or you don't know when to do it, but to ensure that you're not holding on to it in your brain, you write it down on a trusted system that you can go and flick back to. There is a video I have on how I use the list of stuff, or how to get things done, methodology. So I'll make sure to pop that also in the description. So I've got my little divider tabs because I've moved them from one planner to the other. The sections were different, hence they're not labeled yet. Again, these clear divided tabs, guess what? I made them using laminating sheets. And another thing, I haven't been doing any how-to videos for little things like this for a long while, so it's overdue that I make some new ones. But I need to label them, so I'll use my Dymo Letra-Tag label makeup. So the first section is list of stuff. So when something pops in my head, I don't want to forget it. I'll go grab my pen and write it down. And then I'll just have these color code for different buckets or collections. So maybe income producing stuff, my membership, stuff for me, stuff for the boys, stuff for planning, and stuff for YouTube, whatever it is. And so you group them into buckets or collection, so then it's easier for you to look back and go, what thing can I do this week that I can fit into my schedule? And then you look at each one. The next section is my projects list. So again, according to David Allen's book, project is any task that requires more than one physical actionable step. So as soon as there's 2 steps to a task or to your do, he considers that as project. So you want to break it down into small actionable tasks, because a lot of our overwhelm comes from putting things on our planner and just says, get the car fixed. But there's many steps involved to that. And then, so if you're putting a lot of things, moving it from one week to another and not doing it, it's probably because you haven't broken it down into small actionable tasks. And a projects list printable can help you do that, because then you go, oh, well, I can do that. If it's to put the car into the mechanic for maintenance, it's find the phone number. It's ask the family their schedule, because of course the car may be, we may not have access to the car. Call the mechanic, book a date, clean the car of all personal stuff, those things. So you put it on a projects list to help you manage it a lot better. Yes, here we go. Yes, happy birthday, Mama. Thank you all. Happy birthday to all Scorpio. I love it. And then the next section is, so I took the same printable that I had for the list of stuff, and then I just changed the heading and put video ideas. So if I have a video idea that pops into my head, or I get inspired by other accounts, I put it on there and make sure that it's something, if I'm going, what can I make? And then I can go and tap into my video ideas list. What else? And then this is when it comes to my daily planning. So I printed my 2-page daily spread, the personal size, and it's got the time blocking and 3 columns for me to write down my tasks, to-dos, and any notes. And so I do my time blocking. So I have printed enough for the month of November, as well as this last few days of October. So that's in there. And then at the bottom, I do have 3, you can't see because they're not labeled, 3 clear divided tabs. Again, these are made from laminating. Oh no, this one actually, I'll show you the difference. So this is from laminated sheet, and this one, it's a little bit flimsier because this is made from cutting up document envelope. So if you don't have a laminating sheet and you want to create your clear divided tabs, I think it was Robin who had said you can go to your dollar store in the US, and there's like clear placemats that you can cut up to create your own clear divided tabs. And all it is you cut it to whatever size printable, whether it's personal or A5, and then you just add that little bit of extra for the tab, and then you cut out all the things you need, and then that's how you create the little tabs. And so if you want to create your own, because maybe the ones that you buy, if maybe you want to have 7 on the side, or maybe you want to have 6 on the bottom, or 4 at the top, then you can go and create your own. And guess what? Yes, I have a video of that. It's probably one of my top viewed videos from 2-3 years ago. So I may have to make, an updated version. So the other section of my personal size is my grid paper. So what I want to use this for, because in our Plannerettes Inner Circle, we do co-journaling. So we journal together, and just most recently we journaled about our feelings, wrote it down, feeling brain dump. So just similar to how we brain dump all the tasks and to-dos and appointments and bills to pay that's in our head, we also do a feelings brain dump and write it down. Again, no judgment, no fixing, and then we separate it to what we feel versus facts. So I thought I want to go and create a space for that. So this is just me writing down. There's no rule, there's no border, there's no frame. So I'm not, limited by what's on the page, and I can just write as many or as little of my feelings on there. And at the moment, I have a lot of feels, because I'll wake up and go, oh, what am I doing? I feel so lost. And so I'll go journal my feelings and let it out rather than letting it, fester inside my brain and then make me feel sad and bad and lost. Okay. The next section, because I want to go and track the funds that we have in our different savings account. Because sometimes I used to in this on this channel talk about my budgeting routine and sinking funds and savings. And then there was a change with the laws in Australia about talking about money. But I think it was more about investment and, things like that, where if you're not an expert in financial advice, you're not allowed to talk about it. And so I went, I don't know what the rules are, so I'll stop talking about financial stuff. But I think, just noting down how much money I have in each account. So then that way, because sometimes bank makes a mistake. And so you think, oh yeah, I have that much money, and then fees are coming out of it that they shouldn't be taking out. So it's important that we keep an eye on our money. So then that way we're not blasé about it. Not that we are, but keeping an eye, like anything else in life, focusing on things is going to make you be more aware of it. So I have my funds tracker in there. So all these printable are in my shop if you wanted to check it out. And then the final one, so this is a credit card pocket Filofax. I think this is a Filofax. I don't know if it's a Filofax brand. I think it is. And then in here, I just have all my other do-it-yourself task card. So there's my gentle planning when I'm a bit lost and I don't know what top priority to do. So one must do, one re-energize, and one win. Some self-care ideas. So then again, having it visible will make me go, hey, I haven't done that one. Maybe this month I'll go and, plan a date with myself or hubby or the older one. Sew for myself. See, I haven't done sewing in a while. I mean, granted, I've only just recently cleaned up my sewing table. And then get things done. Okay, so these are the things, to make sure I'm on top of my planning system. So that's that one. Hello, Elle. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Okay, and then these are your just top opening envelopes that came with the Filofax. So it only comes with one. So these are from other planners. And then I've just put some, these little post-it notes. These little post-it notes, I think from Daiso. I think they're from Daiso. But what I did is I actually cut them to size because I want them to fit in. Where did I put that? I think this one belongs at the front. Okay, here we go. I cut it to size. So this was a little bit wider, but I cut it to size so then it fits that column perfectly. So if you have any post-it notes that you have and maybe they're a little bit too wide or, for your planner, the columns of your planner, grab yourself a craft knife or, an X-Acto knife and a metal ruler. Be careful, of course. Keep your fingers out of the way. And just gently glide the blade of the knife very softly. Don't have to press. And then you can cut up any of your, these I didn't cut up, these were its original size. But if you find that, a small size post-it note, maybe it's a little bit too wide for the columns of your planner pages, grab a ruler and then grab a craft knife. I think that the knife, the little knife I use, this one is just, a little mini one, again from Daiso, and I think this is sort of like just hard plastic rather than a metal blade. So I just gently, pop the ruler and then let the blade softly guide through and cut. So there's an idea for you, okay? So if you're like me that have lots of these post-it notes and go, they just sort of like don't fit as much. I mean, you could still, of course, use them, Maybe it's just me being a little bit pedantic and have to have things perfectly aligned. Okay, so, but yeah, you can cut up your post-it notes. And then if they're too wide or too thick for the blade of your craft knife, then just peel off a little bit. Okay, so that's a little tip for you. So that's where and then look, I bought, you know how when you go to the stationery shop and you just buy and you go, yep, I'll use that. I haven't used those little speech bubbles in a while. So where are we? Okay, so that goes in there. So in case I want to, you know, add some positive affirmation or nice little sticker on here, and then it just adds a little bit of pop of color to my page. And then at the back, this, I think this little document, little insert is from the Eco collection, Filofax Eco collection. So it's all like the paper planners. And then at the back, more of those printed photos using that Nimbot B21 Pro. So there's Zach, my youngest, my oldest, and then there's me and my dad. I think I was 5. And so that brings me joy in my little fringe or bangs back then. Okay, so now because these are heat printed labels, of course you can't have it in direct sunlight, or you know how when you have those receipts and they're heat printed and then you go back and you go, oh, all the printing's gone because you might have left it in your car dashboard. Yeah, so these are heat printed, so it doesn't use up ink. So then, of course, it will fade if it's in direct sunlight. So that is how I'm going to use my personal size Filofax Saffiano in the color blush. So this is not leather. And then, so I will mainly use it for my daily planning. Now, the pen that I'm using is the Pilot. This is not the Explorer. I cannot remember which one this is, but I'll make sure to put that in the thing. Hi, everyone. 5B8 Club. Baby 8 Club? Please let me know what your first name is. And I think this is your first time in the live chat. Hooray! Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Okay, so now I'm using a fountain pen, so Pilot. It's not the Explorer, Metropolitan, it might be. Okay, so if someone knows, someone is a fountain pen aficionado, please remind me. And then the nib is the extra fine. I think this is extra fine, so very, very fine tip. Okay, fine nib, and I love it. Now the only thing is, because it is a fountain pen, you know, I can't go and highlight over it, and I'm fine with that. I'm using my I'm using like time blocking colors on here, so then I get to know that's orange, which is my YouTube stuff. Breaks are gray, and then pink are me stuff like get outside, workout, morning routine, get ready. Okay, and then for my daily planning, I write down top 3 priorities, and then I use a nice little dash frame around to highlight it on my planner. So then that way, if and when nothing else gets done, if I can get 1, 2, or 3 of these top priorities that I said the night before or the morning of is important that I get done, then it's a win. Okay, so if you're one of these who do have quite a lot of things that you have on your task and to-do list, and you get a lot done, but then you focus on the things that you didn't do, and then you make yourself feel like you're falling behind, highlight 3 things, or top priority 1, top priority 2, or 3 top priorities. And if you can get just one of them done, then that's enough. Yes, other things are going to fall off the wagon and you might fall behind, but we got to be kinder to ourselves and not put so much pressure on ourselves that it drives us nuts, and then you be like me, and then you get mentally exhausted trying to catch up doing everything all at once. Okay, and then of course some other things that pop up in my mind goes, oh, I'd like to do that today. And so that is where I go and write. So that's how I'm going to use my planner setup. So if you've gotten some ideas, make sure to give the the video a like, and of course, you know, share it if you have planner friends. I know most recently I have had some new people pop by who friends have, you know, suggested that they come, and so I appreciate that so much. And this is how we get to sort of learn about new accounts, is by sharing it with others. And then if you got value from it, hit that thumbs up button, and then tell other people, hey, this Mariane chick from Sydney, Australia, she's got some good ideas and little things that, you know, otherwise may not get shared until, you know, you come to a live stream and go, oh yeah, this is what I did to that. Now, please do make sure if you have any questions at all as I go through my planner setup, or if you have, you know, whether it's the Filofax, the printables, or how would, you know, if you have a question, how would you suggest I do this, or how I tackle this, let us know. Because if I don't know the answer, one of my wonderful plannerettes in the live chat will know. Okay, so make sure. I love that, Mariane. Yeah, I think you said the, you know, the Mariane chick from Sydney, Australia. Is that the one? Look at that. See, this is what I mean. Everyone being so welcoming, being so kind, you know, making sure that we are 5-8 club, or 5x8 club. Yes, 5x8. Is that a 40s club? 5-8 or 45? 8-5s, 8-5. 9-5's 45, 8-5's 40. Is it a 40s club? Is that it? Let me know. Let me know what's the 5x8 club. I'm assuming it's the 40s club. Maybe. That's but yeah. So there you go. So that is Filofax Saffiano Personal Organizer in the color pink. No, blush. Not a sponsored post, although I did get gifted these planners, so then I could share with you my experience. Okay, so I like that because then I can have that open for on my to-do list. It's small enough on my desk. Let me see without showing my tummy. Let me see. I'll zoom out a bit. Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So if I'm doing other things on my desk, the personal size. Let me make sure that's going to annoy me that that's not lined up parallel. Is that you too? That you got to have it, look, you got to have it parallel and make sure, you know, perpendicular and all that stuff. So this is my desk, all right? So this little thing here is just I think it's like a serving tray or a platter that, you know, ceramic from the kitchen section. So one of the things I love doing is just going up and down the aisle, or whether it's the hardware store or the kitchen aisle or the knickknacks, and just seeing, you know, if there's anything that would be for different use that I can use as a planner, storage or desk setup. So I've just got that. So it's just really, just a thin, or is this an IKEA? Don't know. No, Muji. This is Muji. Okay, so this was from the kitchen section of Muji. And then I thought that's perfect because I thought it was long enough for the Kuretake Z Clean Color Dot Marker. And look, it's long enough for the Tombow brush markers. Okay, and then so I have that there, whether I have things that I put on there for decoration or the most used markers of the day. I have that there, and then I can have my personal size planner with my, hang on a tick, with my to-do or my to-do list. If I am typing at my keyboard. So a personal size. So when you're looking at planner size, if you're not sure what planner size to get, first of all, it depends on many factors. And again, I have a video comparing A5 to personal. Things like desk space. Do you have a lot of desk space? If you do, if you have a lot of real estate, if your kitchen counter, then a bigger size would, you know, would fit. But then if you don't, maybe a smaller size. Budget, of course, how big you write, and if you're traveling to and from work, you got to get a bigger bag for the bigger planner, and bigger planners are heavier. So those are the things. But I wanted to move into the personal size because I want to have that my to-do list and my things for the day open, so I don't have to close the thing when I'm typing or I'm doing other stuff. The personal size is small enough that it can sit in the corner over there. I'll go, okay, what's next? Or if I'm working at my desk, it's not competing for space. It's a 5x8 index card club. The community in MU Church Hab. We tend to exchange cards, recipes. Oh, I love that. Is this a 5x8? No, it's not a 5x8. Inches, yes? It is in inches. So let me see what 5. Okay, so 5. Oh, so it's like for recipes. I get you. I get you. That is a wonderful little idea, and a group. That is good. That is cool. Indeed it is, Irene. It is a lovely idea. Thank you for letting me know. And that's now I have to go and have a look at the 5x8 and see what sort of things I can keep on that. Oh, and do you have planner size for those index cards? Let me know. I love discovering new things like this. Okay, so where was I up to? Yeah, so with regards to there's my tummy. I'm wearing pants today. I remember I joked the very first time I was on a live stream, the first time, and I was zooming my camera in and out just like this, zooming it out, and then I zoomed out too far. And then I went, I joked, oh, lucky I'm wearing pants, so, but yeah, so when it comes to your planner size, you got to think up of desk space, because the last thing you want is to have to put away your planner because you need your workspace. And the less visible your planner is, then the less likely you are to go and use it. And then help you remind you of the things that you have planned for. Yes, great idea. It is. Thank you. I love, see, this is where our wonderful community comes in and we share lovely ideas like that. So I might have to go check that out, because the thing that I want to do, is, so I'm Filipino, and my mum is a brilliant cook, and there's lots of Filipino recipes that I have enjoyed, through my young years. And I don't cook because hubby is the one that cooks here in our household. I can cook, but I want to go and get my mum's recipes, because it's not written down anywhere. And I would, how when your mum's recipe, your mum's spaghetti, everybody does their spaghetti differently, so I want to make sure that I get it. There is only a 4x6 index card, and some do 5x8 index cards exchange. I love that. That must be a fun community, yeah? Oh, that's so wonderful. All right, so now moving on to my A5 Filofax Garden Organizer in Dusk. So it's actually, the background is more like a blue-green, a dark blue-green, and look at all this beautiful pattern. Let me show you the lining. So the lining is this pink blush with sort of like little confetti specks or flecks in teal, blue, and white. So this is new to me, the garden organizer in the dusk color. Let me see if I can show you. Let me see. See this one? That's also a garden, from the garden collection. That print there is the sunrise. So that's the one I've been using the most. And because my colorings, my branding is sort of like the light pink, the lavenders, the lilacs, and the turquoise and teal. I didn't, tend to go for the darker color in the navy. However, because it is new, and I went, you know what, that will coordinate really well with my blush and my baby pink planners, and it worked out beautifully. So this is new to me. I only received this recently, again gifted by Filofax, not a sponsored video. I use Canva for my cards. Canva, the app, yeah, the cat software. That is brilliant. I love that. got to get some ideas now. Maybe I'll go and have a think of what ways to use 5 by 8 index cards. See, I love how we inspire each other. Okay, so A5 Filofax Garden Organizer in the color Dusk. What's inside? So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 card pockets, and then I embellish them because you know me, I love watching other people on Instagram and Pinterest, and I normally leave the card pockets blank, but then when you open it up at a spread like this, if it's empty and it's blank, it's sort of like not as inspiring. So what do I have? Again, little laminated cutoff in the credit card size, rounded corners. Wrap your favorite washi tape around it. So now what do you have? You have washi on the go. Okay, although I don't use this because my washi tapes are just on the wall and I don't go anywhere because I work from home. So a lot of the times, but that is a great little, hey, even if it's for just embellishment, fantastic. These are Cocoa Fusion sticky note flags. So again, they're housed in this little plasticky thingy, and I think you can they're refills, they're refillable. So that's cute, the little different geometrical shapes. That goes nicely because it's credit card size. More sticky note flags. Again, do I use them all? No, but hey, they make great pocket embellishments. Okay, so then that goes beautifully there. Got a couple, and then just some cut-offs of printed colorful cardstock. Whatever colorways. If you love pinks, if you love more muted and neutral colors, that just provides a pop of color. So even if you don't have any of these and you have lots of colorful cardstock, maybe just solid colors, and then arranged in rainbow colors. That'll be great. I saw someone put like paper clips to embellish the pockets. And again, some more cutoffs. Look, see, some cutoff laminated. And then I think that's 1, 2, 3 different transparent stickers. So then now I look like I have a nice little garden in the pocket of my planner. And then this is, again, from a cardstock, full cardstock had these little cards, so just cut it up individually. Again, there's that wonderful paper clips. So even the little things like this, cute little paper clips, is going to add some fun and joy into your planner. Of course, for those of you who are with me and hang around, your planner lovers and stationery lovers, but there is no age limit to playing with stationery and playing with stickers and playing with washi tapes and using colorful markers to embellish your planner page. Okay, so add, whether it's burst of rainbow colors or muted pastel colors, whatever is pleasing to your eye, okay, embellish it that way. Some more, these sticky note flags are a little bit wider because they've got more, so I've just popped them there. Again, this is just a piece of cardstock. I just used my corner punch to round it. There's the bigger alphabet stencil that's in there. A lot of these I have, like, I'll put it in there when I set it up. I don't touch it at all. It's mainly for decoration. All right. So, if I open my planner and go, okay, it's a new day. What have we got planned for today? Boom, pop of color, joy, happiness. Okay. Doesn't solve everything, but it does make things a little bit nicer. So this vellum paper came with the planner as the dashboard. So my October cover page, so I just drew these pumpkins and gourds using markers and a felt tip pen. So I have to think up, let me know, what should I draw for my November cover page? I still got a few days, and I'll make sure if you guys have any great ideas, I'll make sure to credit you for the idea, and then I need to go and figure out what I'm thinking. Maybe I've seen where people draw a typewriter, and then it has flowers, coming from the little reel where the paper would normally come out of. So I'll go maybe draw that using felt tip marker and get some inspiration from Pinterest. let me know, you know, because then again, that's another creative thing that I can add to my planning setup. And then I've just got, these are Carpe Diem sticker tabs, and they have, you know, months of the year and other things. So I have brought the last few pages of October into the A5, but they were originally disc bound punched. Okay, so instead of having to print it and rewrite it just so then I have it in here, I moved it in here so then I'm not flipping back and forth with those two planners. Again, when you create friction, when it comes to your planning system, whether you have to close it, put it away, put it in a drawer, put it in the cupboard, put it over there, you're less likely to use it. So by changing back and forth into two separate A5 planners, it's going to confuse me for the last 5 days of the month, last 5 days, 6 days, where are we? Yeah, last few days of the month. And that's the last thing I want, okay? Especially if I've been having such an overwhelming month. So this is what you can do. And this is what I do normally when I make mistakes, when I hole punch. I misalign the paper and it doesn't hole punch properly. So I don't know if you can see. Maybe if I can hold it up to the light. It had the old hole punch there. Let me see if I can peel since this came off. See, can you see? It had the hole punch. So grab your washi and just cover up the old holes. The old holes, that sounds rude, right? Cover up the old holes there, and then you can then pop it into whatever hole punch. So this one is the 6 hole punch. Do I have it handy? Of course not. Yeah, I have the We Are Memory Keepers again in my Amazon US storefront, and you can go and adjust it so it can hole punch for A5, personal, mini, I think even like a Rolodex. But yeah, different size planners. And then, so what I did, I covered up the whole old hole punch with washi tape, and then now able to punch new ones. But you don't even have to cover up any mistakes of hole punch. If you want to embellish the margins of your planner pages, let me see if I can find some other planner pages where I've done that. Do I have it? Do I have it? No, we'll see it when we go flip through. Okay, so I brought my October monthly cover, my calendar spread, and my habit tracker, because of course there's still a few days here. We'll forget last week. Last week was a busy whirlwind, but we'll start here on the 27th with our habit tracker. So then that's that. I have my daily journal prompts. So this was a freebie that is part of my Plannerettes Inner Circle membership. And then for November, this is where I'm going to start. So here you can see these clear divided tabs. They're a little bit thinner and softer, so they're not as stiff as laminated sheet. These are document envelopes. Let me see if I can find one that's handy. I think this is it. Okay, so see, document envelopes. They're the A4 one. These are some old ones. That's how they normally are. And see, they would normally be closed off, so you can put your documents in the middle. And then, that's why it's got the fold in the middle, because I used it in my A5 Traveler's notebook. So instead of buying A5 size, just grab yourself an A4, or if you have letter size document envelopes, whatever it is, cut it to size. When you do cut it to size, do not throw any of your offcuts. See, I keep my offcuts. So if you're a crafter like me, you hang on to everything, because just in case. So then these you can use for your do-it-yourself task card. Can you see? It's probably can't see it. Okay, so that my current clear divided tab in my A5 are document envelopes. So yes, it's a little bit flimsy, but because they live in between the pages, it doesn't matter. And then I've got all of my, so I still got to label some new ones because I have moved things around. So this I'll be using for the month of November, my Ultimate Planner Bundle Printable. So it has all the planner pages that I need for the month, 5 weeks worth. So it's got my Wheel of Life goals tracker. It's got the mid-month check-in. So a dotted page, blank page. So I can embellish that for, as a dashboard similar to my October. It's got the calendar spread, habit tracker, mood and sleep tracker, well-being planner pages. Okay, so this spread is for me, looking after myself, looking at habits in key areas of focus, my wellness tracker, take a break, and morning journal. And then it has my weekly spread. So it is on a vertical layout. Now it does also have daily planner pages, but because I'm going to be in my personal for the daily, I omitted those pages. Do I have it handy here so I can show you what pages I took out? So these are the pages. So I have daily pages, 2 per page. So they normally fall after the weekly page. But what I've done is I've just glued, see, can you see how I've glued together? Because at first I printed the whole bundle, and then I went, oh, I don't want to have to use 2 daily planner set up. So instead of having it in the A5, I'm going to use my personal size, okay? And so Wellbeing Planner Spread, weekly, stuck the pages together so I don't have to look at the daily pages, and you get 5 weeks worth of well-being and weekly at the back of the planner bundle, which I've just popped in the live chat right now if you want to check that out. Gratitude log, again, it's dotted so you can write your gratitude on a straight line. And then it also comes with victory log, because it's important to look for the things you're grateful for and your wins of the day. And that has 5 weeks worth as well. Now, if you're new to my channel, hello, Tracy. How are you? I keep getting the time wrong since your time changed. Keep thinking it's 3 p.m. And it's going to change again, because I think you guys, your clocks are changing on the 2nd of November, your 2nd of November. So keep an eye on it, because depending on how the move is, it may be earlier or later for you. So that's why, just always check, come back and, before your whatever Sunday afternoon or evening, have a look. Hopefully I've, scheduled my plan with me already, and then it'll show you how many hours until I go on, or click the notify button. Yeah, with all the daylight savings changes, and I know your clocks are going back as well. So the time should go back to normal next week. But but then again, it'll depend. So I'll have to think, do I make sure that it's the same time for you? Because it might be too early for me, because when I go on live here on a Monday morning, Sydney, Australia time, I go on live at 5 a.m. So I get up at 4 a.m. So then, of course, I am because most of my viewers are in the US. So then it's time friendly for you. However, with the changes, I got to see whether if we keep it your time, do I get up way too early, or do I go later? And most of the times I can't go later because the kitchen starts waking up. Like, everybody's in the kitchen, and it's a shared space in our little apartment, and then the boys will make lots of noise. So just be mindful. Keep an eye on when I schedule it, and it'll say when I'm on, hopefully. Okay. So if you are new to my channel, I have a printable download, free printable download called the Calm and Clear Starter Kit. Let me see if I have that. The Calm and Clear Starter Kit. I think I took it off the my little Stream Deck device here, but it is in the description. In it, you'll get a free brain dump guide printable, a brain dump trigger list. So when you do brain dumps with me on the first Sunday of each month, my Sunday, that is, so it will be your Saturday. There's a brain dump trigger list. So if you go, I don't know what to write during a brain dump. So this gives you ideas. And in the let me see if I've got a blank one. Oh, here we go. There's that thing I was talking about, how using washi tape to embellish the margins of your planner pages. And look, doesn't that bring wonderful pops of color? Look, that one had the baby blue washi. So if you have lots of rolls and rolls of washi tape that you're not using, great way to embellish your margins. And you can either have it inside or on the outside of your planner page. Okay, so in the freebie, you also get the brain dump. Now, the to-do list is not part of the freebie. It is in my shop. And this is what I use to help me plan for the new week. So I brain dump all the things in my head on a Sunday afternoon. And then from that, I categorize it and have a look what's the most important for today, tomorrow, and the week. And I'll write it down on a to-do list. And that is what I normally would go off when I'm planning a new week. So these are the known things that I have to address, refer to, or get actioning. Okay, so that's it. So that will be this little. So at the moment, I have to relabel my clear divided tabs. Okay, so the to-do list based on the Alistair method, keeping your task and to-dos for the week only on one page. So then that way you are not overwhelming yourself. It gives you a little bit of space as well for all the many things that will come up that we cannot plan for. So a lot of the times our overwhelm comes in thinking, oh, I can do all of the things on my to-do list, but then don't take into account unexpected stuff and your energy and capacity level. So you might go, yep, I can do that on a Wednesday this week. And then boom, Wednesday, maybe you're not feeling well, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're mentally spent. And then you have like lots and lots of stuff on your to-do list. And then you fall behind, you feel guilty, and then the cycle and spiral continues. Okay, so a running to-do list by keeping your task and to-dos for the week only on one page and giving yourself a little breathing space will allow you not to overwhelm yourself. Okay, so what else is in here? To-do list, brain dump, just some blank pages. So sometimes I'll take notes or random notes that I don't know where to put them in. So just have some blank paper inside the your planner. And then the next set of things on my side tabs, a running to-do cleaning list. So I haven't been using this for a long while because we sort of just all clean as we go, but our place is looking a little bit messy. So this will help me categorize my cleaning list. So I'll show how I use that on another upcoming video. Hang on a tick. Okay, cleaning list. The list of stuff in an A5 version, but I think I'm going to move it in. Did I have it here? Yep, I'm going to keep it in my personal size planner because this is the one that's going to be open for me most times. Because then this A5 is the one that probably going to set aside on the separate part of my desk, or I may have to fold it. So I'm going to have the list of stuff, use it more often in the personal size. See, there's a mommy list of stuff and there's the baby list of stuff. What else? Again, the projects list in the A5 version, in the planner, in the personal size. So you get 2 per page here. And then here in the A5, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can have four projects running per page. There's the someday maybe, again, based on the David Allen's How to Get Things Done. So if you have things in your brain that you do not want to forget, so you hold on to it, put it in a someday maybe list or a list of stuff. So then that way you free up your brain to use it for what it's intended is to be, to process things and be creative. So someday maybe are things that, you know, I'd love to go on a holiday, or I'd love to do that arts and crafts, or where you don't know when to do them, or at least it's not in the immediate future, but it's a great way for you to help your brain remember things. And then in my A5 planner, some of my fun trackers, so TV shows that I've watched. I've got what's this one? This is Project Runway. I think I watched some of the old season of Project Runway, the Great British Sewing Bee. So that inspires me maybe to do more sewing again. So some of the old TV shows I've watched, and then this is just a episodes tracker. I've seen all of these already. So the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. So some TV shows, movies tracker. As you can see, I haven't watched any movies recently. So that's a nice reminder for me to stop, slow down, have some time for myself, or with connect and go on date with hubby or my older son and watch the movie. So I need to go, and this will inspire me to go and watch some more movies. Look, I watched Rain Man. My youngest son, who's 16, and then he was first diagnosed being mild mild autism, high functioning, mild autism. Back in when he was 4. I had watched, of course, Rain Man way before I got married and had children, and that's what I thought was autism. Was like. There was Raymond in the Rain Man, and then once my son was diagnosed, I didn't want to watch anything that had any character that had autism, because that's just one person. That does not characterize everybody on the spectrum. So I didn't want to watch it, and I didn't, would get me sad thinking about my son, what my son's future would be like. But our future is not written yet, and he can do so many different things with the help of therapy and helping him develop, and we homeschool him. So, but recently I watched it because I love Tom Cruise, because as a teenager he was the heartthrob of that, whose poster I had on the wall. And then and then I watch Wicked with my oldest son. But I need to watch more movies. So I've got the movies. So all these printables are in my shop at mariannecresp.com. I have movies tracker. So with these, I think I have a video showing you how I print. So I just grab image from Google, copy it, put it into a Word document, because in a Word document I can resize the size, and then I just grab my ruler, have a look at what the width and the length is, and then I just customize the size to that, and then print a cute little tiny movie poster size pictures, TV shows pictures, and I think the next one is books tracker. So the books, okay, so everyone asks, how did you print such tiny little books? So go to Google, right click, copy image, open a Word document, pop it in there. I think top right hand corner, customize the size, untick the keep the proportion, because sometimes the size of the book is not the size of this, so it might get warped a little bit. Your book cover might look like it's wider, or it's narrower. Doesn't matter. This is just for your own little books tracker. So that's how I do them. So books tracker, as you can see, again, I want to read more books. These are the things that I miss, because I was so stuck in strategizing how to create better content, follow what does the analytics say, what does the algorithm say, and so it took the fun out of my planning. I'm not saying that my live stream isn't fun, but in the behind the scenes, these are the things that content creators are being told by the expert, do this, do that, and it's like, when I originally opened or created my YouTube channel, I did not have any strategy. I did not have a plan. I just go in and videotape myself on a Saturday morning while everyone else is doing their sports stuff, or they're sleeping in. Mom is just, here I am planning my planner for the week. This is what I'm using, talking to nobody because I didn't have any subscribers. Popped it on YouTube instead of, boring my family and friends on Facebook. Had no plan to grow it. Yet people found me, and then that's where it came. And then suddenly it's like, oh, now I've got to be strategic in trying to figure out what videos to make. It's like, hello, Marianne, just make the videos you used to make that brought you joy. They'll come. Those that are kindred spirits are going to come and watch. And then if I make things that you may not like, you may go, but you may come back again. it's okay. We'll still be friends, okay? But I have to make sure that I create I create content that not only pleases the algorithm and pleases the statistics, but more importantly, that it pleases me and pleases you. Because if I enjoy what I do, hopefully it comes through to the camera, okay, beyond that. Okay, so books tracker, what else is in here? I have my 52-week savings challenge. I haven't been doing them for a while, so because lack of money, lack of extra money to save with all the grocery prices, and our rent went up, and so many other things, and of course schools and activities for the young ones. But yeah, so I might start doing the 52-week savings challenge. So the idea is every week of the year, so 52 weeks, you save one of these dollar values. You can either do random like I do, just pick a random number. I wrote down one year I wrote the numbers 1 to 52, and then just picked a random number, like pick a name out of a hat. And then whatever I pick, that's the amount I would save for that week. You can do it in order. So the first week, so it doesn't have to start in January, by the way. Let's have a look. Thanks, budgeting mama. Yeah, so it doesn't have to start at the beginning of the week. So you don't have to wait till January. If savings is one of your goals for November, you can start in November. So you can either do it in chronological order. So first week, save $1. Second week, save $2. And the idea is by the time you get to the end of the year, or a year, 52 weeks has passed, you would have saved $1,378. Or you can do it the opposite way, because of course, end of the year, if you started in January, Christmas time, not a lot of money left. So trying to save 52 weeks, or however, 1, 2, 3, about $47 during Christmas, may be a little bit tough for those of us who, are watching their budget or don't have a lot of extra money to save. So you could do it in reverse order or random. Now, I do remember when I used to show this on my Instagram, or someone would say, why don't you just save 1,378? What's the point of doing the saving each and every week? It's not about the amount, because you can actually halve this. If you don't, it's not within your budget to be saving, $1. It's creating the habit. It's building your savings muscle. So if you were like me back in prior to 2017, we spent money we didn't have. We put things on credit card. We didn't know how the idea of saving on a regular basis. So the 52-week savings challenge essentially is building your habits muscle, is putting money aside before you spend it. So instead of saving what's left, you save first. Whatever these amount. So yeah, they're only little incremental savings if you have, your income is a little bit higher than those who are in the low to mid budget range. But it's building the savings muscle, being aware that, okay, I got to save this week. How much am I saving? So then hopefully by creating a good savings habit, you will then infuse that into other areas of your financial well-being. So then go, all right, well, I'm going to create a sinking fund for the bills that's coming up. I'm going to create a sinking fund for a holiday. So sinking fund is putting a little bit of money aside from your paycheck, and then, and have a goal. So if you want to save $1,000 for a holiday, a weekend away with my girlfriends, you would go, okay, how many weeks until then? All right, there's, 20 weeks. So, you've got 1,000 divided by 20, and then that's how much money you put aside every week or per paycheck. So the idea is not essentially about the money. It's building the habit on a consistent basis to put money aside. So when I did do budgeting content in the past, the 52-week savings challenge was one of the main features that I have. And then at the back here, I bought this the Budget Mum Savings Challenge. So I think this is volume 1. I think she only has it for about $10 or $20. I won't show you the challenges, of course, because it's a paid product from Miko, the Budget Mum. But yeah, so I love the cover page. So I've got that there. Other things I have, so I have the little Polaroid tracker. So I have to put Is this? Yes, this is YouTube. So back on the 1st of January, February, March, April, I was on 11,000. So I have to pick it back up. So I'm now at 12,900, I think. So hopefully by the end of the year, I can get to 13,000. So if you haven't yet subscribed, well, this is your little prompt to do so. Please help me get to my little goal. But again, I don't want the numbers to sway the content, because then a lot of times if you're a YouTuber or an Instagrammer, the vanity metrics, they call it, the number of followers and the number of subscribers, but it's not about that anymore. It's making sure that I create good content. So, but if you haven't yet subscribed, it's still nice to have that number go up rather than stay, or sometimes lose subscribers, lost subscribers. Awesomeness. Yes, thank you so much, Elle, my wonderful, lovely supporter. Okay, so there's a tracker. You can go and add whatever heading. So anything that is measurable, you can use a tracker like this. So maybe, sinking funds, savings funds, your debt, you can go backwards and have, start off, I have this much debt. And so each and every month, seeing how much debt you have paid off. So a tracker is really important for you to see your progress, because sometimes when things are tough, maybe you're not chipping away at your debt as much, or you're not savings as much, but by tracking it, you see your progress. You see how far you've come along, even if it's only a tiny little step. And then at the back here, I've got my future log. Because I do not have a dated planner, when things come up, important events, I don't have any way to write them down. I mean, I do have a diary, but I don't use a dated diary or dated planner. So when birthdays come up, events come up, school events, I need to have a place that is a trusted system that I can flip back to. So this was 2025. So of course, birthdays. I think it's Roseanne. Roseanne? Is it Tamara? Who's having the birthday? Roseanne's having birthday month next month, and Tamara is having her birthday today. Okay, so any future dates that you need to remember, so then again, you don't have to hold on to it, because if you hold on to things in your brain, that adds to the stress, to the pressure. So here we are for October. There's already some November dates. So how I use it is, of course, when I'm planning for the new month. So it'll be November. All these things that's on here, I will go and put in my calendar. Okay, so whatever my calendar, so it'll be on here. I will migrate these events, known events, to my November calendar. And that's how I use the future log. And then, of course, the back 2026, that's already in my shop. But let me show you how it looks so far. Again, because I swapped planner. Do I have it on here? Do I have it? I think I moved it. Future log. Here we go. Okay, so that's October. That was 2026. And then, of course, I put the most important date, my birthday, 3rd of January. And my wedding anniversary in March. Okay, so I've just started transferring, and then also, especially if you have paid subscriptions, annual subscription for things, go check your phone. One of the things I want you to do is go check your phone. If you have an iPhone, I don't know how it works on an Android. When you go and subscribe to apps, whether it's monthly or annual ones, you've tried it and then you haven't used it for so long, and then suddenly you get another charge on your card, and it's like, what's that for? It's like, oh, I forgot about that subscription for that app. So go to your settings, have a look at your account, I think, or whatever it is, and have a look at the subscriptions and put it in your planner. So if it's coming up in June of next year that, blah, blah, blah subscription or app will get renewed, I give myself a month, a little prompt the month before, and I'll go, hey, XYZ app is coming up for renewal in June. So, and then I'll also pop on the future log the week before. So if it's something that I still want to keep, I'll go and set up that reminder. But if it's an app that I no longer use, I'll cancel it already. A lot of the apps is you still retain access to it for when you paid up. But have a check. But don't forget, because those tiny little charges add up. If you all your Netflix and Hulu's and all that stuff, and then at the back, all the different lettering fonts that I use. I have a video showing how I did these hand lettering fonts. So again, I'll make sure I'll pop that. But if you just put hand lettering in search in my channel, so nice bubble lettering, like a lot misaligned lettering. This is my go-to. So easy using the tip of your zebra mild liner. So I just use the tip and then use a black ink to outline. And then here, this one is the dot marker. So just trace whatever alphabet you have, and then you just dot, 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 dot. And then using the fine tip end, create a border around it. I mean, doesn't that look like it's a lovely little hand lettering font you can put on the top of your calendar spread or your weekly spread. And then this one is just very simple. Again, marker, and then outline. Instead of outlining it, I wrote on top of it and drew little tiny little hearts. See, tiny little hearts. Okay, so 5 different hand lettering that you can use. Although I'll be honest, sometimes when I've run out of time, my go-to is this one. And then just the top one, and then these are side sticky note tabs, again from Daiso. I couldn't find this in Amazon. I think there's a bigger size one that has the little tab, but if you have a Daiso, or just check out your local stationery store. And then at the back, you've got the top pocket and a side pocket, and then I've got the Garden Ollie Clip Filofax collab, and then that just helps keep the stamp. So I got this as a gift from one of you, my lovely Plannerette Steph. And then, yeah, just bits and pieces of cardstock just to add. Again, don't neglect the back of your planner page. It's because sometimes they peek through. Look, see, they peek through. And so having a little bit of color is so important when it comes to your planning. And then I've just got, again, the Garden ballpoint pen. So I don't use ballpoint pens, but they do make nice little embellishment on the side. So that's what I have for my A5 planner flip through for the month of November, starting today. So just before we go, it is now top of the hour and a half. I want to embellish my weekly spread. Okay, so if you have a weekly spread just like this one, I was going to do like a Halloween theme, but I'm not a big Halloween fan. Not that like fan as in I don't like it. It's just, it's not a big thing here in Australia. Although, I live in an apartment block, and some of the residents, they do it for free. Decorate their apartment doors for the young kids, and they have the lollies that the kids, because Zach, even though he's very tall and he's 16, so he's a young man. He's development wise and age is still like a young boy, and so he is going to enjoy going and knocking on the doors. He's already been practicing. He goes inside the cupboards and knocks on the inside of the cupboard going, trick or treat, trick or treat. So he does enjoy that. So I was going to do so I'll show you what I did in the past. So maybe this can give you inspiration for the week. Can you change the ink cartridge? I do the wells. I like the pen, but not the ink cartridge. I think because the mechanism is it's one of those ones that's see, it's specific to this pen. So yeah, I don't think they have gel pens. So, but I buy pens just for the barrel. And then because I do, again, I use it more as an embellishment. Yeah, because the ink that refill for it is specific to that barrel. It's not just one of them. not just like similar ones that you can just have the cartridge that can fit in like that. So I don't think so, Irene. But yeah, good idea always. Yeah, because I sometimes swap out inks, or I'll cut the size of the ink. So if you did want to have an October embellishment for your weekly spread, you can use for the top of your columns cute little Halloween doodle. So witch's hat, a cat. So here I think I used a 1.0 nib felt tip pen, and then I just used a grey Tombow brush marker, so N95, to create sort of like that shading. Can you see here? So if you want to go and do a screenshot of that. So yeah, I was going to do the orange and black and do the Halloween theme, but Halloween's in the Friday, yeah, 31st. And so I went, no, I don't want to do Halloween theme because it's really, it's not my thing. But I mean, back in lead up to, well, I don't know how many, a couple of years ago, I did this one. So I thought I'm going to do a different theme. So I'm going to show you how you can embellish your planner page. So grab yourself a pencil, and I'm going to hang out here if you need to go, of course, because I know some of you might have to go have dinner, but I'm here for, normally these live streams go for a couple of hours, so at least for another half hour. But before you go, please don't forget to like and share this live stream if you want to get some ideas on how to set up your planner pages for the new month. But what we're going to do now is I'm going to embellish my weekly spread. So I've got my little reference. So the reason I like to keep my previous pages, I like to archive them, because I like to go back and flip through them and what I call shop my own embellishment, so go and have a look how I did, my embellishments from previous months. So what I'm just doing here, I'm just using a mechanical pencil, and just because this printable that I have for the weekly, the top half is sort of like has a grid, see, very faint vertical lines to separate like this section, so then you can use it as your top 3 priorities. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create, using a pencil, my square outline. Oh, you guys, I'm here with you, not going anywhere. And it's nice for your Saturday or Sunday afternoon and evening here till the end. Love you guys. Thank you. Yeah, and then the household is because I have my older son. I have an older son who's 18, and his exams, final year of high school. So I think he's got 2 more, but one is not until the 30th of October. So he has this free time, and he's studying, but he has a little bit of free time. So he does sleep in. Okay, so I have the household is quiet until probably about 8:30, when they all get up for the my son's homeschooling. So it's my husband who does the full-time homeschooling for my younger son. So I did the homeschooling from 2019, 20, 21, 22, 23. So for 4 years. And the beginning of 2023, February of 2023, I had a little mental breakdown, and I had carer burnout. I probably lost myself because I was doing homeschooling and trying to manage the household, manage budget, because my husband worked full-time outside of the home. And and of course, COVID and lockdown, and I'm sure, like many people, that took a toll on a lot of people's mental well-being. And so, because of course my son, we help him manage his his sensory processing, his development. He can communicate, but a lot of his learning is rote learning. So he has echolalia, so he repeats what you say, unless it's already learnt. And that's how I started to learn about habit tracking through creating good habits, was because I wanted to learn how my son's brain worked, to be able to help him manage his sensory processing, his emotions. So that's how it all started, the planning. I used to plan back in the day, but not really for the mental well-being part. It was more for a lot of the tasks, the to-do list, and more productivity based planning rather than well-being and habit tracking. So that's where the planning came in. And that's when, I was planning way before then, like as in showing it here on YouTube. But yeah, it was more productivity based rather than your wellness, looking after yourself. And so it was then I actually realized that my planning was my form of self-care, that it was not just planning for the sake of having a to-do list. It was planning for me, looking after myself, so then I don't put myself back in that situation where I had low moments and low thoughts. And the last thing I want is, not to be around for my husband and my family. But then when you're in that frame of mind, you can't get out of it. And so it's important that we look after ourselves. And one of the ways is hanging out with other people that enjoy the same things as you. And and who's to say that they have to be in the same part of the neighborhood? Look at us, you're over there in the US, or I know I have some people from Italy. And so it's really important that we connection, and knowing that you are not alone in whatever struggles you're going through. And so just having some commonality and just sharing space with each other, just even though we're here, you're there in the live chat, we're here for each other. And just knowing other people might be listening in. Just look at all of you, how wonderful you are, welcoming everybody in the live chat. Okay, so let's have a look. So what I'm doing here, I'm going to show you in a second, but I'm just looking at a reference photo of my previous embellishment, where I am making some pretty mason jar doodling. So I'm going to show you the pencil markings in a second. And then let's see, you will see. So you can either look at Pinterest. There's you just put in there, put in the search floral doodling or planner doodles, and then they don't have to be botanically correct, like that they have to be real flowers. You just make it up. And so hang on a tick, let me just make sure. I am I got an itchy nose, and I don't really want to show you in case in case I've done that where I've had videos where it's like, what's on my nose? All right, so and then I'll do a final one. So these little drawings, so they're very faint at the moment, but I'm going to use a felt tip pen, and then I'm going to do it slowly so then you can see. But I just want to create some guidance for my own. So see, so what I'm doing is I'm looking at a previous embellishment that I did. And so rather than trying to figure out new ways, I'm going to go and, okay, I can feel, hang on a tick. I just want to make sure I am presentable because I can feel something in my nose. Okay, all right, okay. I'm back. Presentable? Yes. Okay, so what I did is I just use, this is, I think this is a Zebra Blend 4S. So I've lost the cover for the eraser. So I have to look, it's on the floor somewhere. So it's got 4 different ink. So you've got black, red, green, and blue. So of course, like any multi-pens, you just go and press that down. So it's 4S plus because this little, the clip on it, as you can see, it moves. That pushes out the mechanical pencil part. Okay, so look. So I'm just pushing this. Okay, so you go push, 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 push. And then that's how the lead pencil comes out. So push, 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 push. Okay, so the lid, so for it to go up, it just goes boop. Okay, so if you press it down, that triggers the mechanical pencil, like the, let me see, I'll show you. Okay, so there it is. That triggers the pencil part to go down, and then to make the pencil go out, you just push down on the clip part. So the barrel comes in different colors. So Zebra Blend 4S Plus or 4 Plus S, but it's going to bug me that does not have a lid, but we're going to go on, all right? We're going to keep going. Marianne, it's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. So I use the mechanical pencil. First, I created a little square border. Oh my gosh, I have that pen. Yeah, it does. And so, yeah, so, and then of course, just be mindful that the ink, the refill, it needs to be, of course, specifically for this one because they are so small. Look at that, they're so tiny. So then, but yeah, just pop that back in there. But yes, so the clip part brings down the mechanical pencil part, and then just press, 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 and the lead comes out. Okay, so but yeah, see, this is the things you discover when you watch other people. It's like, but yeah, I discovered this when I was just walking up and down. You can always learn something new with Marianne. That's right. Because yeah, a lot of times, sometimes I go, oh my God, who's gonna watch a replay that's over 2 hours long or over an hour long? But I do. I watch it. And then you'll learn little tidbits and you go, oh, what's that thing on their table? Or what's that pen they're using? And then you look it up and then you go, but I discovered this when I, as part of my window shopping in stationery stores. I just go up and down the aisle and have a look, do the test. So if you ever you cannot figure out a self-care activity, go and just, window shop. So you don't necessarily have to buy anything, but that's when you discover different pens that's not normally, advertised. So this was one. So there you go. It has the S is the pencil part. So yeah, just be mindful because some of them, the Zebra Blend, like the original versions, don't have a pencil. So the plus is the thing that has the pencil. Okay, so create a little square border first, so then I can keep these little mason jar drawings inside them. Okay, so then I'm going to use a felt tip marker. So this one is, I couldn't find this particular one in Amazon, but if you just put felt tip pen, you can either just buy them individually, and the good thing with this one is waterproof. So then if you also do watercoloring, which is one of the things I wanted to do more of that I haven't done. Drink your water, everybody. This is your prompt to go and have a drink of water. Okay, so this was a gift from Stephanie, one of our lovely plannerettes here. So she gifted me this all the way from the US, from LA. So 5-piece pen set, and then you've got the different size. So I honestly, let me show you the influenced, Mariane being influenced. Do I have it? I don't know. I don't know if I have it. Let me just show you. I'm gonna wreck everything in my in the back of my studio. Right? I bought every type of, this is just some of my felt tip pens that I purchased when I was doing bullet journaling. You know, the dotted notebook that I had was the Leuchtturm 1917. So because, of course, in the bullet journaling world, you use felt tip pen most often. I followed Amanda Rach Lee and many other bullet journalers, Bujo, and using Bujo to embellish it. That's, you know, gone beyond Ryder Carroll's bullet journaling, because he's the one who started, and essentially it's supposed to be just bullet journaling, keeping it simple, but lovely creative people took it beyond that and just embellished. And so during my bullet journal days, I bought a lot of felt tip pens, and then because they're felt tip, they gets worn down, so you buy more, and then you see someone else have a different different brand, and so I buy that. So, but I was very grateful I got these. So for the border, I normally use a thicker nib, and then for the actual drawing itself, maybe the thinner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the 0.3 or 0.3. The ones I normally use would be, probably 0.3 or a 0.5 tip. So what I will do first is I'm just going to zoom in so we can see clearer. So you can always follow along. So if you're not actually embellishing your planner pages, grab a blank piece of paper so you can follow along. So what I did here is just different types of mason jars. So narrow ones, short, wide ones. So because the felt tip pen, I think this might be too small. I don't think this is a 0 point, like the number is not the nib size. Let's have a look. Let's do a pen test. Let's do a pen test. Now, I think I'm going to stay to the 0.03. Okay, so it's not, I don't think it's the nib size, it's just the numbering. So I'm going to, and then I'm going to use the 0.6 in this brand for the border. So then I can create, a different feel to it. So it's not just flat with one thickness. All right, so the way I do the mason jar first is do the lip. So whatever lip, so it's like a flat oval, and then just do the top of the jar. And again, it does not have to be perfect. So a lot of times my jar, like one side is flatter, it's rounder, doesn't matter. And then the bottom of it, instead of making it flat, to make it a little bit more look like it's, coming off the page, round it, okay? So whatever size jar you have, it's the same thing. The opening, so small, oval, narrow, wide, and then just like a little lip. And then you can round the edges, or you can have it flat like this and then just round the bottom. Now, to make it look like it's a see-through bottle, or that it's glass, for the other side of the bottom, just create like a broken line with a dot. So see, that already looks like it is, a 3D effect. And then again, to create a little bit of that it's a rounded jar, just create a line on the side like that. So it looks like, okay, that's coming out. Now for your plants that's in there, you can make up whatever plant you want. So I just normally create, 2 to 3 stem, or this one only has 1 flower in it. So start with the stem. going up, curving a little bit to one side, drooping to another. So this one, I think I'm going to just extend it there. Okay, so this one, just leaves. So these are just like your little leaf shape, okay? And then this one, just lots of circles, lots and lots of circles, okay? There we go. Let me see. And then this one, we're going to do like a sunflower, but on the side view. So I have like a little teardrop or what do you call this? Yeah, teardrop, or a flat oval, and then just put your petals. So again, it doesn't have to be, correct on how many petals it has, okay? And then that's it. You can keep it as black and white, or you can color it. And then with your thicker nib marker, pen, whatever you're using, then create the border. But don't go through the drawing. Have a break in it. That's why we did this square first. So then all we're doing is we're creating, right? So see here, because technically we want to look like the flower or the mason jar is in front of it. So we'll leave it at that for the moment. So if you wanted to have it just black and white, you can leave it as is. Or you can use a gray marker to create sort of like some shadows. So again, just the rounded, so it looks like it's see-through. Try and keep your reflection. So these are sort of like that, it's reflecting. Keep it on the same side. So if you're going to do it on the left-hand side of your mason jar, keep it on that side. Don't have it on that side. So then it looks like it's, that the light is shining from one source or one side. Okay, so let me have a look. So this one, we're just going to have one flower. And then you got the flower here. And I love how it goes beyond the border. So instead of keeping the drawing inside the frame, we're making it go outside of it. We're breaking the, what do they call it? The fourth wall. Okay, so then with the thicker marker, just trace the little square frame that you drew first things. Okay, look at that. So that's another one. So yeah, this is a great way. If you, and this what is really good by taking up space on your planner spread with either doodling, with washi tape, stickers. It's like a visual breathing space. So if you can look at, well, first of all, it works two ways, two different things. While you're drawing it, it is a great mindfulness activity. So mindfulness is when you are focusing on the now. You're not worrying about the past or the shoulda, woulda, couldas, okay? You're just focusing, concentrating, making sure you're drawing your little felt tip marker, your lines. Okay, again, I love these little circles, clusters of circles. And then can we fit we can fit a leaf here and a leaf there. Okay, so drawing it in the moment is a great mindfulness activity. I'm focusing on this. Okay, so normally, of course, I would, I would be drawing. I wouldn't be talking at the same time. All right. Oh, look at that. I'm going to zoom out so you can see how that looks on top of your planner page, your planner spread. So imagine you can do different themes. Maybe you can, for Christmas, right? What I like to do is just draw very simple line drawing of different type of pine trees. They don't have to be correct again. You can do triangles, you can do teardrops, you can do little just lines. But imagine that on the top of your planner page. So we talked about drawing as a mindfulness activity. So it's in the moment, it's a nice self-care, it's a nice little reset, it's a nice pause for yourself, but also visually, thank you, Roseanne. Thank you. Yeah. Also, visually, what that does is if you are past me, past me, would think, oh, well, there's space in my planner, so I've got to fill it in with a lot of tasks and to-dos. What else can I do? Oh, if you got, spaces for morning, afternoon, evening, okay, that looks blank. So let me write myself another task or to do. By taking up space on your planner with drawings, with washi tapes, with stickers, that is like a visual breathing room, because we cannot plan for the future. So when other things come up and we have our planner already with a lot of stuff that we got to do, we got to go and drop them when other emergencies come up. So this is just a really nice way to go, hey, you don't have to go and write on each and every space and fill it up with to-do list. Fill it up with something nice to do. All right, so zooming in again. So then we can see, woo, too close, too close. All right, so there's our first three. So this, you can see different size mason jars. Oops, I forgot to do the little reflection. See how at the moment with that little reflection on the side, it looks a little bit flat. So, and just break it up. So line, dot, line. So here, start a line with a dot. Here, line, dot, line. Okay, now let's go to look at the other four. So again, make up the size of the mason jar. You can make the lip of the jar longer or not even have any at all. So here I'm going to do dot, dot, dot. Look at that. Okay, and then whoop, whoop, whoop. And then while you're also drawing, you got to make those funny whoop, whoop noise. Okay. There we go. Some more leaves. See? Look, if you're not good at drawing flowers, just clusters of circles. Look at that. That's so pretty. Okay, so with this one, instead of the little sort of like sunflower style, we're going to do like maybe, I don't know, big dandelion looking type of flower. Okay, so just little lines and then circle at the end of each of those lines. There is no rule. Make up whatever flower you like. Okay, I'm just going to keep on to the 03 and then draw and then do the frame. Again, probably this one is a little bit narrower but wider than the first one. And look at that. Look at that jar. You know what that jar is? That jar is handmade. Okay, that's a handmade jar that is not asymmetric. And then this one, the sunflower is drooping to the side. Let's put some leaves, leaves, leaves. And then this one, I like this one. Have a look. Have a look at this one. So this one, draw a little washi tape like, and maybe some diagonals. So it's like a washi tape where we have stuck some maybe dried flowers onto our page or onto, okay. Hello there, Stephanie Joy. How are you? Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. We're just embellishing our weekly page with some nice little mason jar and flowers. Just doodling away, being very mindful. What was that? What was that little viral thing? Very demure. I never got caught on to that little viral thing. Okay. And then the final one, for Sunday, let's have a big wide jar. Okay. This one didn't even have a lip. So we'll do the okay, look at that. It looks like it's, instead of just a flat jar, you're creating a little bit of 3Dness. Okay, so this one maybe will have some stems popping out, and then just some cluster, 3 clusters of circle at the end of each. Yeah, there is no rule. There is no rule with the doodling. And then maybe some leaves. Okay, some leaves and more clusters. Let's do more clusters. All right, look at that. Okay, these are cute doodles. Yeah, so very, very simple. You cannot go wrong. Okay, and then with the or not the 0.6 or the 6, just go see how it's a little bit thicker. So then it creates a little bit of dimension, a little bit of it's not all just the same thickness pan. Okay, and then let's have a look. So yeah, so don't make it look like that the drawing is in front of that little frame that we've created. Oops, it's harder to draw on the edge because you have nothing to lean on. So we're going to zoom out again so you can see how it looks if you just wanted to keep it black and white. And then maybe you can keep the heading black and white only. And then if you've got a black and white washi tape, you can leave it at that. That looks good. I like that. And then, of course, you can put the date if you've got stickers on there. But let's see. Let's go and color it in. So let's see. I'm going to I don't have my Tombow handy, my Tombow markers. Ooh. But I do have, this is King Art. So, you know, it's a dupe. It's sometimes the ones that you see others use might be a little bit more expensive per pen. So if you want to get a lot of different colors, the Tombow markers can add up. So I think there's either $6.95 here in Australia or $7.95 each. But yeah, so this one is King Art. So I think I bought this at TK Maxx here in Australia. But I do have this in my Fave pens, markers and highlighters list in my Amazon storefront. But I think I have the affiliate link that directly opens up to that page. So you can go pick whatever color. Again, doesn't have to be, you know, the right colors. So I'm going to get some of my greens. So I know already I'll use different greens for my leaves. Okay, so yeah, just color your leaves. And because this is a brush tip, so it can, you know, color in. And guess what? You don't have to stay inside the lines. Okay, and the beauty with this one, the felt tip pen that I got from Steph, so I couldn't find this in the US Amazon storefront, but I'm sure you can find some other felt tip pens that's waterproof. Try and do the waterproof so then you can color above it and it won't smudge. It won't smudge the felt tip. Let's have a look. Let's do so. Just color in. Okay, look, as you can see, I'm not even staying within the lines because I want it to look organic. I don't want it to look perfect. I want it to look like, you know, it's supposed to be like that. So I'm just swapping out the different greens. So we'll start off with green. And even if you want, so let's say you just wanted it all in one family, get all the colors that you have in the same family, and then, you know, you can then create the flowers as well. Have them all in different shades of green, or have it all in different shades of purple or pink, whatever you know, color theme you want for the week. So this is a really good opportunity. So what I normally do at other times is, you know, I might go look at my washi tapes, my rolls and rolls of washi tape stash. And then if I find something that I like and that's a good combo, then I would go and, you know, look for the similar colors and I'll swatch them. Okay, so let's say I wanted to use this washi tape at the top, and then I wanted all my doodling to be purple. Then I would just get all the different shades of purple or blues, and then have it the same theme going throughout. Okay, so you don't have to like make the leaves green and then the flowers different color. All right, so there's I think I've done all my greens. And then for the flowers, just pick whatever, color you like. So let's just do some yellows for the sunflower. Okay, and let's just do some purple for these clusters of circles. Okay, and then you don't have to color in only what you have drawn in the felt tip. I'm going to just go closer so you can see exactly how I'm laying down my colors. And so so the pencil mark, you can either of course erase them at the end, or sometimes I just leave it as is. I don't bother. New me is not bothering so much anymore. Oh yeah, looks like a watercolor. I love this. Yeah, so it's just something very simple. I like the simplicity of this, especially if I don't have any stickers on me. Yeah, you can just create your own little stickers by just drawing it. Okay, so let's have a look. Maybe this flower will do it as pink. Okay, so see how sometimes going outside the felt tip outline makes it even look better on the page. Let's have a look. So maybe even blues. We haven't done any blue. See, I'm not even coloring the circles itself. I'm sort of like misaligning them. So then it has that the different type of flowers. And let's see. Let's see. See, this is the fun part. You get to pick whatever color you like. So again, if you have a particular theme or you want to match it to a washi tape, oh, that looks so good. But that's not finished yet, okay? So we'll come back to it. We'll do the flowers first. We'll do all the flowers first. Maybe we'll do this as blue. Okay, let's go in the middle of the screen and just look at that. Just do that. Okay, and then do the dots, the circles separate. So for those of you that might have just joined, you're probably wondering, Mariane, didn't you create a free webinar? I did. And the replay is available on the YouTube. So for those of you that registered for the free webinar, you would have received the Halt check-in and reflection page as a freebie. If you didn't, you can also buy it in my shop. But that was actually the webinar was supposed to be a lead-in to me opening my Plannerettes Inner Circle that I have been talking that I was going to open to the public for the last 3 months. But after a lot of considerable thought and with so many different things that's on my plate, because I was going to not go to jury duty because, of course, if I did open up the Plannerettes Inner Circle, I would have had to, let me see, I'm just trying to figure out colors. I would have had to, maybe pause, at least the onboarding wouldn't have been as what I would like. But I thought, no, we're going to do it. We're going to go open it because I've been talking about it. And then in the end, what happened was Stephanie Joy was there for the first half. Thank you so much for there. The turnout wasn't as high. Now I went, how come when I did free webinar in the past, I had a lot of people sign up, and I had a lot of, well, not a lot of people, but more people joined the free webinar. But that was because in the beginning I had given the freebie way before the webinar, and as well as this round, I made sure that people verified their email address because I had received, people wanted the freebie, fair enough, but I had received a lot of registrations with just non-verified email addresses, and they added to my email list. Yeah, and it fattened up the number of my email list, but they weren't true people, or they weren't, weren't one of us. They weren't interested in anything else apart from the freebies. And then I thought, not a lot of people showed up to this one, which is fine. I know, one of my plannerettes had said, look, because it was a Saturday for a lot of my viewers who are in the US, that's their Friday. And so, yeah, it is many factors, I'm sure, contributed to the number of shows. So, but that wasn't the thing because people could watch it after. But, it does, I won't lie, it was a little bit of a sad thing and a disappointing thing because I also thrive in having people around in the community. And so it was wonderful. I know Elle was there, Clara was there, Stephanie Joy showed up. But it's a blow to the ego. And and then I thought, what's wrong with me? Why why don't they like me? And I know it's not that, but when you're vulnerable, and I was very tired already and exhausted, from creating it. And I went, look, Mariane, it's because you have a lot of things on your plate. That's why you're feeling a little bit delicate. And so for the moment, maybe not open it. So so even for those of you that wanted to join, well, if you wanted to join, you should have joined. That's a for me, okay? But and then I've got jury duty, and then we just got some some news from family that I need to be there for my family, and I can't be there for my family to support my family if I'm not well, because at the moment they're the ones supporting me. And so, as we all know, family comes first. And so it was the last couple of days has been a lot of thinking, oh, am I letting myself down? Am I letting my community down? And I know a lot of you have said no, that you're very proud of me. And I really, when my mind is have had rest and reset and re-energized, I know I'm proud of myself too. I actually put that as a win for me, that I did the webinar, and many experiences that I've got from it, and creating presentation, creating landing pages, so many wins from it. But because I don't want to come from a desperate point of view to make money, because remember, like I said, it was never my intention when I created this channel I just wanted to show me what I do. And if you enjoy that, fantastic, come for the journey. But yeah, when my husband had to go and take over the homeschooling because mentally I wasn't in the right frame of mind, and see, even if I took it back up, I probably that could have been a breaking point again for me. And so I had to think about it and weigh up my priorities. And it's a blow to the ego. It's disappointing. I wish it was successful, but I know it's only in this stage, right? So I know it's not my destiny not to have to open up a membership to the public in a different form, but I just want to create content for the moment, for the love of it, for the joy, because that's how it originated, for my well-being and my self-care, to give me spark and inspiration, and also create wonderful connections with those established followers that I've had since the beginning, as well as new ones. And so so I've had to put it on hold. I don't know if I'll open it up in the near future, but I'm sure I'll do something. Maybe, who knows, okay? I will tell you this. Maybe next week when I'm in a better frame of mind, okay, actually, I've changed my mind. Let's do it again. All right, let's try it again. All right, so I don't know. I'm going to rest and just let whatever comes along naturally, and for the pure enjoyment and fun and creativeness, be here. And like I said, if you weren't here in the beginning, it could be stuff that I do with content creation. It could be my tech gear, because a lot of experts and those who are in the know with the algorithms and what best practices say, niche down, just focus on one thing, because you're going to confuse your audience. What are they? They came here for the planning, and now you're showing them your nails, and now you're showing them sewing, and now you're showing them, you know, your microphone, and now you're showing them your soft boxes. What's going on? That's just all. And then that's how I've sort of like, you know, I've sort of like put myself in a box. Hey, my doodling is a representation of where I am at the moment, breaking outside the box. Okay, so I'm not going to be confined by, yes, I have brought you in here, and if you love planning, fantastic. But more so, if you like me and love me and get value from what I share, hopefully you'll also like the other things that I share along the way. I may go, actually, I don't like to share all of that stuff. I want to go back to planning. And the beauty of it, because my channel says it's my name, Mariane Cresp, not Mariane Plans, not Mariane Stationery. I would love to be able to show other sides of me beyond the planning and the stationery and the beyond. But the core is still going to be there, which is self-care, looking after yourself, infusing intentional joy, fun, creativity into your life, so then you are putting yourself on top of the list, and which is what I think I am doing for myself. Okay, so just a little bit of thing. I was surprised also that there weren't many of us, and sad I had to leave early. No, you turning up was wonderful, and I appreciate everyone. And I know even like sometimes, you know, as much as we'd love to support our favorite accounts, we've got our own stuff going on. So I understand it. It wasn't that the people there weren't there, but it is still, you know, it's a bit of a blow to the ego, but that's okay. Everything happens for a reason. Is what I always say. I enjoy your content, Plannerette specialty or not. I missed the live. Sorry about that. All good. Like I know when I was saying to my husband I was going to share my true feelings about it. I'm not fishing for anything, because I know I understand with everything's all things Mariane. That's right. The whole package, Mariane Cresp. And then actually I was thinking about this was, I wanted to do some behind the scene shots, but my cute, I'm going to call them my cute little tummy, my cute little belly. I call it my Winnie the Pooh belly, because when I'm wearing my top, you know, and then the top goes up and then it shows my belly. So I walk around now with my belly hanging out at home. I don't want to scare the children out in the wild, right? So I went, I can't show that, because then my belly is sort of like, you know, sitting comfortably on the desk. But I went, you know what? I may have to, because that's what I want to do. It's like, I don't want to have to curate, you know, the behind the scenes, so then it looks like it's Pinterest perfect or Instagram perfect. But that's just a little bit of story about if you do see anything apart from planning and stationery. If you don't like it, just don't watch, but don't unsubscribe if you've subscribed, because then you might miss the stuff that you like. But yeah, so anyway, back to the doodling. All right, look at that. Ooh, that looks so pretty. But we haven't finished yet. Grab yourself a gray, the N95 gray marker that I have handy all the time. So what I want you to do is then now to create shadow-like effect. So I'm going to zoom in. The quality YouTuber is transparent, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Stephanie Joy. See, I appreciate, I call them seasoned plannerettes and new plannerettes all. I appreciate everyone's support. So now, with your gray Tombow, so decide where you're going to create the shadow. So shadows, always think of it, where is the light source coming from? So if the light source is coming from up here, so as you can see here, look, even there, the shadow is on the right-hand side. Okay, so I'm going to pretend the shadow is here. So I'm going to create a shadow underneath the frame and the mason jar, and then also on the side. Okay. Watching the replay, but I like all things Mariane. You're funny, inspiring, and great personality. Yes. My husband says, I'm kooky. And I love that too, because, there's already too much seriousness in the world. Okay, so the shadow, just go. So don't start at the corner because we're going to make it look like it's a little bit to the right. So I just start a little bit here. Okay, so there, and then make it go around the jar, the bottom of the jar, and then there. I'm going to take this off the ring so I can have a bit more space. And then on the right hand side of the frame, we're making it the frame rather than the jar itself, okay, because technically we're making it look like it's one piece. So there, bottom of the jar, on the side, and then do I want it to be also, maybe also the flower, okay, maybe there you go. We'll also do the flower. Okay, there's the first three. Let's look at the next four. Da-da-da, ta-da, and then there. Okay, whoops, the next one. All right, so just even if you you don't have a gray marker, it's one of the things I would tell you to invest in. So just play with some of the markers, because some of them are cool gray and some of them are warm gray. I like the cool gray. So there, okay. Let's have a look. Sorry if people get a bit dizzy with the zooming in and out, right? So it's subtle, but it's there. It gives it that pop of color. And then grab yourself a baby blue marker, and I want you with the mason jar. So this side, we're going to do it on the left-hand side. So on the left-hand side, we're going to just create on the side and the bottom. So it looks like it has a little, the jar is sort of like that, it's a blue jar or whatever jar. So then it just looks like, again, look at that. Oh, I'm so proud of myself. I get so, these little things, so probably here, because it's the bottom of the jar, I'm going to color in the whole little bottom of the jar there. But yep, doesn't have to be precise, doesn't have to be perfect. And then if you wanted, maybe just the top of that jar. So again, to create, how a glass, it's more not as transparent at the top. Have to go. We'll watch the replay for the rest. Have a good rest of the day, everyone. Bye, Roseanne. Thank you. I'll see you in November, birthday month. Woohoo! Okay. There we go. Look at that. Did I do this? Oh, and then this one, because it's a washi tape, pick a really bold color. So then it will stand out. So just, I'll zoom in. Sorry, I'm zooming in because I know sometimes that can get dizzying for those of us who have, because my camera is not on a stable stand. It's sort of like a C stand. So anytime I move it, it does wobble. So with the washi tape effect, just color every second line. So it looks like it's sort of like a stripe like that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm so proud of myself. Yep. We have to toot our own horns. I know you guys toot the horns for me as well, but I love that. And then what you could do is you can just grab, I'm going to do my dot marker, and then using my rainbow colors, Roy G. Biv, I'm going to create a little circle for that. Roy green. Okay. Roy G for green. Whoops. Blue. Purple. And then I know it's supposed to be violet, but I want to use the teal. Okay. And then we'll let that dry. So then if my pen, because I don't want I don't know if I'll use the ink, the felt tip pen. Let me see what happens. Because then if it's the ink underneath is wet, even though it is waterproof, it'll still, it might feather. No, it's okay. But on the safe side, I'm going to let it dry. Now, what do I want at the top? Maybe I might just keep it at that. I don't know. I probably won't. I'll probably use a washi. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I won't use the books because that will compete with the flowers. Maybe this one. We'll see. I'll go have a look. But yeah, so I might leave it at that. But what are we? October 27, 28, 29, October to maybe I'll put October 27th and then November 2nd. But I won't do that on camera because I want to use this one. I want to use the hand lettering like this one. So I have to go under to that Creative Markets and then type in November and October. So that's how I will do the October 27th, just like this one here. I want to continue that because I do like that. And then I'm going to use the, the thicker felt tip. So I don't want to do it on camera because I know I might make a mistake and then I'm going to be upset. And then, but I want to look up. So I'll make sure to put in the description the Creative Markets, the font that I use to write down the October. Oh my God, I like it. I like it. I can't wait to try this. Yes, seriously cute. Do you want me to show you my inspiration? So my inspiration was, I think this was October. October? Yeah, October. I can't remember which year it was. Let me just zoom out. Remove my all my marking, all right, so there we go. So originally I thought I wanted to do a Halloween theme. But as I mentioned, not a big Halloween aficionado. In Australia, it's only been recently that Halloween and the costumes and the trick or treating has been picking up steam. But I don't decorate my flat, and so I went. But that is a previous October spread that I had. So same thing. So like the little doodling at the top. Okay, so if you want to create, some pretty little things, it doesn't have to be Halloween. We did the mason jar. It could be cats, dogs, whatever. So try your hand out. You've got Pinterest as your guide. Just pop in search. So that was a theme that I thought I'll maybe try on screen with you. But then while I was flicking through that, I saw this one. This was a spread I had on a previous October spread, probably a couple of years ago. I no longer sell this printable, which is like a bullet journal style. I don't know. I may, because I might miss it I like using this weekly spread when it comes to April, which is Easter, because then so many different great doodling things like Easter eggs, bunnies, garden, baskets, so many things. But this was my October 9th to the 15th, maybe a couple of years ago. Love it, yes. Are these all your doodles? Yeah, these are all doodles. Again, please, don't think that I did them all. Like, gotta get inspiration from Pinterest and just search, probably best to put when you're searching bullet journal doodling, because so many bullet journals, the stickers are not doodles. They are the Post-it notes are not doodles. They're stickers from, I forgot. I'll make sure. Who are the stickers from? I'll make sure that I let you know, because I think I have I don't know if the discount code from her Etsy store is valid still. But yeah, these are doodles. So exactly, that's what I just did. I just copied. I couldn't make my own sticker line. There are certain things that I like, I want to do, but at the moment don't want to do. It's the same. When I was younger, I sing. I like to sing, but just pretty much at home. or when I at the when you go to the bar and they have the karaoke there. And I used to sing for the school choir, and I was the soloist for a couple of years for them. Did wedding singing, but it was never a thing I wanted to do as a profession, because there was just some stuff that went, oh, I don't want to do practice. I don't want to practice. I don't want to go travel to wherever the event is and then sit around, wait for, especially wedding singing. You got to be there for the whole thing, and then you go on and then you leave. And it's just like, there's some certain things that I like to do just for the sake of doing it for myself. So I have thought about it. So originally my printables was never going to be something that I made to sell. Right. It was just, I created the printables for me because I wanted something that when I was first homeschooling that will help me manage homeschooling, life, budgeting and all that stuff. So yes, I could make my own. I've thought about it, and and so it's not one of the things at the moment that it has any extrinsic motivation. So any external reward. For me, at the moment, it's very internal. I enjoy it because, like I'm finding that, now sometimes when I strategize and make activities for as an income producing activity, it takes away the joy. And I don't want that. And so for the moment, yeah, I've thought about it, Stephanie Joy. I've thought about a lot of things that I want to create my own journals, create my own planners, make my book. But at the moment, with so many things going on in my life, there's some stuff, how you want to just nurture. You want to nurture it as just for the joy and the fun of it. But I love it. Yeah. Another multi-talented Filipina. Yes, so a lot of Filipinos they are known for good singing, and my mum and dad can't sing. I don't think anyone else. Well, some cousins can sing as well, but I know originally from when I started singing, no, everyone, where did she get her voice from? I think my mum said to me when I was little back in the Philippines still. When I was 4 or 5, I would sing the commercial jingles, and then so the type of songs I sing are your Whitney Houston's, your Barbara Streisand, your Celine Dion's, your so the powerhouse songs. Not so much Mariah Carey because she does do a lot of runs in it, and I don't think I'm as good with the runs. It's more the power because I'm only 4'10", so I know I do have a powerful voice. But again, I think if I did singing for money, I wouldn't want to do it. And I love doing singing for the joy of it. So just that little bit of story. And so that's where I think the theme of today's November setup or live stream is that I want to bring back the joy into the things that I do that there's no strategy behind it. There is no trying to make money out of it. Not saying that I won't, maybe later when my capacity, my mental, emotional well-being capacity and energy is back, I might go, all right, let's go and create, I think I did do some digital stickers at the beginning, and I went, oh, it's too hard because there's so many back and forth, and what is acceptable for me, someone might go, oh, that size is not right, and so it's like the joy would be sucked out of it, and I don't want that. But yeah, so that is how my October from a couple of years ago, as you can see, it was exactly the same. It's just in a smaller version. Look, and I even copied, very similar. Okay, so then I think I used for this one Tombow markers. Where are we? So this one. Okay. All right. So yeah, I shop my own planner printables to give me. So this one had notes in it, so I did, and then I did coffee, like a coffee cup. So yeah, go have a look at Pinterest. I do have a back in 2010, 2011, when I made a business of handmade dolls for a couple of years there. Pinterest was the thing, blogging and Pinterest. So there you go. And then what I'll do, I'll have my calendar. I'll use that baby blue there. Okay, I'll fill that out. So there we go. What do we think? Does that deserve a thumbs up? Please do so if you haven't so. Pop that thumbs up, okay? So I'll show you the desk right now. Amen, sister. Amen. Right, there's my desk at the moment. It's a you don't see that, but it's fun mess. It's good mess. Okay, so enjoyment is the priority because it shows in your work. Yeah, and then it becomes a chore when you have to do it for show. And whoop, sorry, my camera is very wobbly. Okay, so yeah, so sometimes when it is for show, you lose the motivation to make it fun and make mistakes that has to be perfect, and I am far from perfect, and it's only recently that I'm starting to enjoy myself not being perfect, not having to have everything done, not having to have a planner spread that's filled in that, oh my goodness, I have to do my habit, because if I show my habit tracker and it's not filled in, oh, what kind of a habit, a planning account am I when I don't even plan, or my habit, I miss the habits, and here she is, saying, make sure you go and, you do your habits. And I was like, well, I'm a person too. I'm human. I have vulnerable moments. I have tired moments. I have can't be bothered moments. I have, the effort moments, so it's just like, I don't have to. Then sometimes, yeah, when you do show yourself in front of an audience, it is important though to entertain, because no one will stick around if you are not at least entertaining or giving value, right? So you can't just go, well, I'll do whatever I want. It's not that. It's not that I will do anything I want. I want to make sure that it is something that you will also enjoy. So that's my November setup for this week, so October 27th to November 2nd. I moved into my a new planner, which is the A5 Filofax Garden in Dusk, and you can get 20% off using my Mariane 20 affiliate code. And then for my daily planning, I am using the Filofax Personal Saffiano in blush. So these are non-leather, so you can get 20% off from the UK, US, and European side. All other Filofax sites, I think, are distributors, and so the Filofax company brand can only give the discount for the US, UK, and Europe site. Hello there, Gail. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Follow what's in your heart, for God has a plan for you. Exactly. And when I'm in a good frame of mind mentally and emotionally, I know that all the things that happen is for a reason. The mental breakdown I had led me to see that planning for me is a form of self-care, and throughout my own journey have given, I know, some value and inspiration to those that don't just use our planning for our task and to-dos. So now for the it's not all fully set up, so I did a flip through if you missed it. So I still got to go and label some of my divided tabs because I have moved things around. Same with the so some of my divided tabs are not yet labeled, so I have to do that because I might add some more other planner printables, like I wanted to put my expense tracker in the A5 size, so lots of things. But that is part of the fun by setting up and changing things up. So I know not everyone is in a position to just change things up their planner cover, and that you're stuck to one cover for the moment, but you can go and add color. You can change up your pens. You can change up your your writing. So for the month or this month, look, my writing has gone back to, instead of up and down, it's on a slanted, because of course I write naturally this way. But when I have to write, you know, up and down, I have to move my hand in a different way. So change things up. Your make your brain work a little bit, because our brain loves novelty. It's always looking for something new. That's why we get so distracted. Squirrel, right? Or shiny glittery stuff, right? And then we get so influenced by other planner accounts and stationery accounts. So just make sure whatever you do in your planning, whether you're setting up something new for the month of November or sticking to what you have, change things up. Buy yourself, treat yourself to a roll of washi, okay? Make it fun, make it exciting. And, you know, there's something exciting about a fresh setup that isn't finished yet, because then sometimes the anticipation of something new or a holiday is actually the rewarding thing. The finished products or the end of the journey or your destination is not so much the fun part, it's getting to there. Okay, so add some new things. Do you only use 2 planners for everything? Oh no. Oh no, I have many planners. Well, I use a traveler's notebook at the moment for you know, as my wallet, and then I'll journal in that. I use an A5. Let's see, what have we got? An A5. This is I think this is a Let's of London for journaling, you know, some other private thoughts. I use an A4 for notes. I have lots, Stephanie Joy, but my everyday is the A5 and the personal, and then I'll change up covers, or if I get bored, I'll, you know, make something else. So I'm always changing. Now, I'm not diagnosed, but I think I do have ADHD tendencies, and a lot of times I've read, okay, so I don't know if it's a fact, I've read that those parents who have children on the autism spectrum might also, you know, be on the spectrum themselves, because I do tend to see myself, you know, hyper focused on some things and then drop it and then start something new. And so I think, as you said, Stephanie Joy, multi-passionate for a lot of different things, and it's something that, you know, I need to accept. I don't have to stay on one lane. And so that's important if that is you as well. Don't feel guilty that you're changing things up, or don't feel guilty. I think we had someone before, I don't know if it was Susan, who asked, you know, she has 7 planners. If 7 planners works for you and it's not causing you stress or friction in your planning that you have to move from one to the other, do whatever it is. If you only can do 1 set of planner and that's it, because if you try and divide your focus into 2, that's too much. Do whatever works for you. But no, I don't stay in just 2 planners. I am in a lot. I want to be in more, but I know that my capacity won't allow for it. So do something fun, because, you know, it's a reminder that things can evolve and still work beautifully. So whatever planning system you have, enjoy it. And if it works this month or this season, and the next month you find that it doesn't work anymore, change it again. It's the same way. I know this is going to be very hot topic for a lot of the Filipinas and Filipinos, you know, like the Imelda Marcos. She had lots of shoes. When I used to work outside of the home, I used to have lots of shoes. But now I'm just in 2 pairs of sneakers, and then that's it. And maybe some heels when I'm going out. Okay? So certain things, certain planners serve a particular purpose. If you can't fit it all into one, because then it gets too chockers and too chunky, then divide it into 2, okay? So let me know if you have any questions at all with the setup that I did, or, you know, and the new things that might come up in this channel. So if you see things that's like out of whack, just go, what's wrong with Mariane? Nothing's wrong with Mariane. She is taking time. Here I am talking in 3rd person. I am taking a rest, not stopping. I'm taking a rest from trying to plan everything strategically, and everything has to be for, to please the algorithm or the statistics or the analytics and the numbers. I'm just going to create, for even if it's for the next, who knows, month, just create and you'll see different aspects of me. Okay, so if you've got any questions about that, let me know. If you want to see other things, go, hey Marianne, one time I saw you do this, can you show more of that? Who knows, maybe I will. So you might see some sewing stuff, some, tour of my desk, tour of my studio, tour of my sewing table, making things, doing my nails. So sorry, my nails aren't as pretty today because I just took the nail polish off, letting it rest a bit. Okay, so yeah, any questions at all, pop it in the comments as well. I'm more than happy to answer the best I can. So maybe some questions might be triggering. I might go, I can't answer that for the moment. I'm still a little bit delicate and vulnerable. But, we'll see how it goes. So pop them in the comment section, or if you've got them now, pop them in the chat. We'll talk about it here. Okay, so that's my November setup so far. Simple, calm, and a little bit of work in progress, just like me. Okay, so this month I am slowing things down, focusing on what feels good to create. All right, so let me quickly have a look. Okay, and setting my planner to help support me. So whatever might change tomorrow, might change the next week, but your planner is here to help guide you, to help support you, be there when you are. And if you're, have to take a little bit of rest, it can also close and then you can come back to it. So focus on what feels good to create, setting up your planners to be there for you. You are the boss of your planner. Okay, so, and we talked about letting go of pressure. So if you are in a season at the moment doing so many things, putting so much on your to-do list, give yourself permission to stop, pause, and slow down and find small ways to spark joy. So, the question of, the giving ourselves permission to make changes, even if it's imperfect ones. So if you're going, don't compare yourself and go, and, you have a look at your planner and go, oh, mine is not the same as hers, or mine doesn't look as good as that. I used to think that with, probably when I did this a couple of years ago, I probably would have been critical of myself. But I'm very proud of the progress. So be proud of the progress that you make. Stephanie Joe, the Perfect Plan Interrupter, says, I started with the goal of only having one, but now like having more specialized, specific planners. And because sometimes you can't fit it all in one. And so I do, the back of this, I'm able to fit in the bigger size is my fun trackers. Okay, so, but if I have to put probably my expense tracker and maybe some of my journaling, maybe the fun tracker side things I might put in a different planner, because I don't look at this each and every day or each and every week. So I might have to move this somewhere else if the my planner gets too thick and it's so hard for me to go and flip through the pages. So yeah, there's so many rules that's out there that, and planner piece, there's no such thing, because if you're comfortable with one, I was going to say, if you're comfortable in one, you're probably not. No, you are, but then you'll change things up. You'll change pens, you'll change washi tapes, you'll change up stickers, you'll change colorways, okay? So make changes that suit your lifestyle. Do you do a week in advance only in setting up? Yeah, because I look forward to setting up. Because if I set the whole month, so if November, let's say if I set all of the 4 weeks, then I have nothing to look forward to. The anticipation of figuring out how I'm going to set up the new week is part of the joy, is part of the something to look forward to, okay? So now I would love to know, I have a question. Actually, also, don't forget the HALT check-in, okay? Feeling off, try this. So HALT check-in is hungry, angry, lonely, or tired. So that was the free webinar that I had And so I have made it available here on YouTube. If you did want the whole check-in printable that's in there and you didn't register, that is in my shop. So it's no longer a freebie. So for those that did register and signed up, I appreciate you for doing that. And so you got that as a freebie, but now it is available in my shop. So if you want to, if you're feeling a little bit off and you're not sure why, the whole check-in, asking yourself, is it because you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, is one of the simplest way to give yourself that awareness of what's going on with me. And a lot of times, you know, how that hungry and angry, that could be it. Could be just as, you know, help yourself with a simple walk, a drink of water, or just a 5-minute to pause. So I've got this question for you. I would love to know, what's one small change you could make this November to bring a bit more fun or ease into your day? You're gonna, I know Stephanie Joy's gonna try the doodling. Have that, and you can just do one. And you know, if you don't have a weekly and you have a daily page, maybe do one of those little mason jar doodles per page. Okay, so let me know whether you're here in the chat or live on the replay. I want to know what's one small change you could make this November to make it a little bit more fun or ease your day, or give yourself that little bit of time to just breathe, pause, hold, and say to yourself, I am important, I matter, I need to be on top of that list. So it doesn't have to be big. It may be using your planner differently, starting a new creative hobby, or giving yourself a real bloody good break, okay? And the break doesn't have to be in half an hour to a day. It can just be a 5-minute break, and enjoy your cuppa. Well, my coffee now is cold. Might put some ice and make an iced coffee and not waste it, okay? So before we wrap up, I want to leave you with this. I know not everyone can completely pivot or change their... I've got the music going already. Okay, so I know not everyone can change their planner like I do. I'm fortunate that, you know, I get gifted the Filofax planners, so I can change things up. Or maybe your budget may not allow for changing things up. You know, you might have routines, work, or responsibilities as well that may not allow you to just pause and take a break or be creative. So my situation might be a little bit different to yours. I am, you know, I'm fortunate that my husband is the one doing the homeschooling for our younger son, and my older son, who's in his final year of high school, is, you know, he's 18, so an adult, technically, in voting and being able to drink. But as a mother and as a wife, I'm fortunate that I can put in time for my content creation, and not everyone is in a position to just, you know, I'm just going to make whatever I want to make, all right? But it's important that you find something that you can do to add that spark again. So if you've been feeling like, you know, it's been a difficult month, difficult year, you know, add a little bit of joy to your everyday to-day task, okay? Find small ways to spark it and have that fun. Changing up just one small thing. You know, maybe it's making yourself a lovely little bookmark or lovely little alphabet bracelet, okay? Be creative again, even for 10 minutes. Doing the doodlings that we do. I'll try and see if I can clip those doodling to a separate one so you don't have to watch the full, nearly, what are we? 5, 6, 7, 8. We've been on here for 3 hours. Whatever it is, I hope November feels lighter, calmer, and a bit more you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here and for letting me share this part of my journey. Now let me see you light up the screen with your lovely avatar faces and sharing the joy and fun with each other. I appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next thing I make, whatever that is. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.